Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Ask Holly with our pros who know. And I suppose as a pro, you are definitely one because you have been with the Better Business Bureau as the president and CEO.
Right.
So when it comes to scams, we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And right now, moving season, summer is right here. We're in the thick of it. Rental properties are hot.
Yeah.
But what do people need to really be wary of? Because if something looks too good to be true.
Yeah, it's a saying because it's true. Yeah. Do you know why moving season is so hot during the summer?
Well, I feel like with my kids, summer is when we have the most time.
Right.
And as a parent, if I'm going to move, I'm looking at the school district.
Right.
I'm looking at, so I can see
It has
how
a lot
that's
to
the
do
case.
with people are able to take time off during the summers. Oftentimes kids are out of school, so families have greater flexibility. The moving industry also says that Thanksgiving and the holidays are also a popular time to move again because families have that chunk of time where kids are out of school, so they have a little bit more flexibility. But speaking of rental scams, consumers are telling us that not only is the rental market really hot right now, as it was several years ago with purchasing properties, oftentimes people feel lucky just to find a rental that is still available. And so therefore, there's a bit of urgency in the air. People are looking for a property that fits their needs. It has the yard. It has the right number of bedrooms and things like that. The school district is often really important, and obviously something within their budget. So most renters are looking for something very specific, and scammers know that. So some red flags that consumers should be aware of are if it looks too good to be true, red flag.
So what do you mean by that? Because I know for most of the research that I do, and I'm sure you hear this too, it's online. So we look at pictures.
Right.
And we see this beautiful picture of this house with this backyard. What does it look like now, though?
Right. So photos that you may see on social media or online, you really want to pay close attention. If the price point is too good to be true, if it is a 4-bedroom, 2 or 3 bath, nice big yard and a swimming pool, and it's coming in at $500 or $1,000 less a month than you have seen in other properties, you want to make sure you consider the comps. What are other homes in that area with similar square footage and amenities? What are they going for? The rent may be one of your first red flags. Another red flag would be if the landlord or if the owner is just way too busy or perhaps out of the country working, oftentimes they will say, and unable to meet you at the property. So they need you to wire or send them a deposit.
That could be very intimidating, I would think. And as a consumer who really wants to find that perfect property, you almost feel like you need to jump on it.
Right.
And they use that, don't they?
Well, yeah, they're definitely building the hype. They're saying it's a perfect school district. They've shown you beautiful pictures. They're probably going to tell you how many people are in line behind you. Either you pay the deposit now or I have to move on to the next person. These are the same sort of scare tactics that we see in other scams. Essentially, if they're trying to get you to wire money and you've not physically seen the property and been able to tour the property, not just been to the address, because let's say, for example, I get an address of a property and I go look in the windows, I go walk around the yard. That doesn't necessarily mean that the person I'm talking to online is the owner. They could have just given me a random rental address. They know the place is empty. They let me go look at it. It looks good. I'm worried I'm going to miss it. I send the money and it's gone.
That's scary because we want to trust people, don't we? And we see the property, we see the pictures, but that's a great example of the fact that even if it looks good, the person who you're speaking to may not actually be the owner of that property. So I like how you said compare similar properties to see if this one price range is in line, and then go that extra step to actually have someone help you tour the property.
Right.
What are some other things?
If the landlord, if the owner, if a realtor are not able to help you tour the property, it's a red flag. And if you choose to move beyond that red flag, flag. Some other things you may want to consider are asking what's the owner's name. And then you can go to the property appraiser site
Yes.
and check just to see if they've got their facts right. You know, I understand that there's a lot of anxiety around moving, and moving is one of the most stressful things, right?
I was about to say,
Right.
you know who your friends are, your true friends are, if they help you move.
Well, and if they
moving is
stick by
stressful.
you, through that process. And so, especially when you're working against the clock, you have to get in before school starts, or you have to get out of your last rental property. There's a lot of stress, and during moving, there's a lot of moving parts. So you want to make sure that you keep your wits about you. If it looks too good to be true, that's your first red flag. If the owner or the landlord or the realtor, whatever whatever title they've given you, if they're out of the country, too busy to meet you, you can't tour the property in person, you can't walk around, open the pantries, look at the property in detail, red flag. If they ask you to wire the money, red flag. So just, don't take a chance, because chances are that money that they're going to ask you to send, that's your deposit money that you need to really apply to the rental property where you're ultimately going to live. Don't send it down a black hole to a scammer.
That is a very scary thing. And I know rental properties, when you need to put a deposit down,
Right.
it's thousands of dollars. It's typically first and last month's rent.
Right.
So what are some things consumers need to do before they sign that check? You said if you can't walk in, basically walk away.
Yeah, if they're asking you to wire the money and you've not actually been able to tour it, if there are just too many blanks, in the story, consider, do I feel panicked? Are they making me feel like I have to rush and make a decision?
Yes.
These are enough red flags for you to step away. If you feel like you don't know, contact Better Business Bureau. We're always here to kind of help you with the gut check. But chances are, if you see even one of these red flags, I would say right now the biggest red flag is if it is much lower than the comps in the area and they're asking you to wire money, renter beware.
So this is something that if someone is feeling like they're seeing some of these red flags,
Yeah.
what should they do? Because I know you guys are there for advice, and you would rather help someone
Yeah.
beforehand not get caught rather than help them out of a pickle.
The first thing is, again, like I said, they're probably working on a timeline. So back up, back away. Don't give the person any personal information, financial information. Certainly don't send them money because, again, you have that money to spend once. Don't spend the money twice. Don't, run yourself up against the clock. You've sent your money to a scammer, and now how do you get into a new place? So really take your time. If you need Better Business Bureau, call us. We're here to help. You can always find us at bbb.org. But, work through a realtor, work through the owner or a landlord or a management company to find the place that suits you best. Just don't be taken advantage of. That's really what the message is.
So there's so many resources out there for customers, but definitely don't let that sales tactic of that sense of urgency
Right.
or falling in love with beautiful pictures of a place that you haven't been able to walk into.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if anybody has any questions for you about rental scams in particular or anything else, they can email you at askholly, right, at wkmg.com.
That's right. And you can reach us at bbb.org to look at realtor information. You can look for management company information. So when you are searching for a rental or when you're searching for a home, you can, do your homework, do your research on the professionals that are there to help you so that you can make sure that you make the best buying decision.
And oftentimes a professional really takes that burden off of you.
Right.
And they really do the work for you,
Yeah.
which is way less stressful in the end.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Holly.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for us to talk again to help consumers really work through some of these other issues that are out there, because I know you guys do so much work
Yeah.
to help.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, and check out the next Ask Holly podcast, and we'll be here for more information and information you can trust.
Awesome. Thanks.